What you need in the building? How's everybody doing? Currently, we are live, and we're going to discuss the fight so far that we predicted for tonight. So that is the fights that we're going to talk about are we're going to talk about Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams, and we're going to talk about Clarissa Shields versus Emma Kozin, which happened tonight already. And the next fight I'm going to talk about is Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios, which is coming up very soon. So, interesting night of fights. We got some, as they say, superstars in boxing, or potential superstars in boxing. And we'll talk about that. How am I feeling today? Today I felt a lot better. I'm still coughing, but feeling a lot better. On Monday, try to go to the health center to see what can happen, if they can find out what virus I actually have, if it's COVID or if it's otherwise. Just heard that a very good friend of mine, he's about a year, 2 years older than I am, he died of COVID Friday. So it's crazy. He got COVID. I think he got it. He got it the week before, about 9 days ago. So it's crazy. When I heard that, it shocked me. I don't know if he had got vaccinated or not. That, of course, doesn't make a difference. But you have to take every single precaution, people. I got so many different bombs here. I'm using vitamin C, zinc, magnesium. Uh, I'm also using a lot of natural products. Of course, you can use Panadol as well. I'm not using that. But I'm also using a bunch of other stuff here, from lemons, as much vitamin C as I can get into my system to boost my immune system as much as possible. So, so far, so good. Okay. Didn't get really good sleep the last couple of nights, but I did get sleep. And tonight, I think I'm actually going to have proper sleep for a change because my stomach's feeling okay. I do have a throat that is getting irritated every now and then, but I also have honey and garlic and turmeric and ginger, and those are very good things as well. I got salt. I had a lemon. I used it today. I have a bunch of limes. So hopefully everything works out really well. I hope you guys are doing okay in this COVID season. Be careful with this bug, man. This bug is dangerous. So you have to treat it, and you have to treat it early. If you can get ivermectin, get your hands on some of that, or hydroxycholine. Grab those things and utilize them. As soon as you get COVID, you should be using those things. I don't have my hands on any ivermectin, but I do have a lot of immune boosters and a lot of immune tools. I also use selenium. I just got selenium today too, so I'm maxing out, man. I'm going balls to the wall, as they say. And that's just a phrase. I'm not saying. All right, so let's get into the fights. I saw somebody pop up in. I'm just going to give you guys a little time to 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 come in and then leave your thoughts. By the way, if you want to be a guest on here, you can join. The link is right there, and you can talk your piece. Also, if you guys want to talk about DC movies and DC and where it's going and how excited you are, I'm also open for that. That's why my name is What You Need / Christ I Am Disciple. But we will leave the Christ I Am Disciple part for the latter half of this. And we're not going to go too long. It may go about between 10 and 30 minutes. So I'm about to get it popping, right? So it was a dominant performance by Chris Eubank Jr. It was a dominant performance by Clarissa Shields. Both Liam Williams and Emma Kozin really weren't no match in terms of quality and in terms of the level of boxing that they bring to the table. Neither could be competitive. But I said Crystal Shield would get a unanimous decision. She did. But I expected Chris Eubank Jr. to knock out Liam Williams. That did not happen. However, he did drop Liam Williams 4 times. 4 times. Liam Williams just kept on running into check hooks and jabs, and even caught him with a right hand left hook to put him down. He's a tough cookie, Liam Williams. But again, Chris Eubank was kind of pacing himself. This is the best performance of Chris Eubank I've seen. Very controlled, beautiful boxing on the back foot. Remind me a lot of Roy Jones Jr., but with his own Chris Eubank sort of flavor. His guard was something like Roy. He was boxing him on the outside, turning him, and when Liam Williams would close the gap, reaching in head first, he would check hook him or hit him with a jab and knock him down. So it was a great fight. Chris still has a ways to go, but this is the best performance of Chris Eubank I've ever seen. His accuracy was ridiculous, and his poise and his timing was just great. He didn't always hit the mark like he wanted to, but you could see that he really put in the work, and his boxing IQ is way up in the sky now. So it was a very, very, very dominant performance by Chris Eubank, and Liam Williams did not belong in the ring with him. And so the fact that he got dropped 4 times just tells you everything you need to know. And Chris Eubank is moving on to bigger and better things. I believe he will have a title shot before the end of the year, and he will be world champion. With respect to Claressa Shields, she defended her title very successfully against Emma Kozin. But again, the one thing about Claressa, she has pop, she has power, but I think Claressa constantly tries to force the action. She was way too eager to try to knock out Emma Kozin, and in so doing, she would smother herself. And so Claressa's got everything that is necessary to beat up a fighter, and Emma Kozin basically took a beating from round 1 to round 10, because it's a 10-rounder, and it's only 2-minute rounds. I really wish it was more of 3-minute rounds. Now, Emma Kozin is a fighter who can fight off the back foot, but for the most part, Emma Kozin couldn't get nothing going. She's an inside fighter, so she does her best work on the inside. And Claressa never gave her time of day to do that. And, I mean, Emma couldn't even land a punch. She probably landed 1 or 2 punches, but for the most part, she was on her back foot. And Claressa was walking her down for 10 rounds and just beating her up. Just totally different level of fighter. After the fight, it was much more exciting in the sense of we were expecting, those people who were expecting Claressa to knock out Emma Kozin were disappointed. But I would say this though, Claressa, though she did not knock out Emma Kozin, did a lot of good things. She went to the body early. She was putting off her combinations to the head, throwing certain combinations to the head and stuff. But what I would tell Claressa is, Claressa does everything fast. And she has to slow down and get more leverage into her punches to get that. She has to slow down. I don't know how to say it. But when you're throwing a body shot, not only do you arc and throw it, but she'll get it. She'll get it over time. She'll get that mechanics that's necessary. You kind of have to delay the shot to get it in, and she doesn't do that. She turns over her shot. She's very sharp. She's very quick. But she don't always she don't always get that delay to get that power, that arc power that you need. But she has power. She definitely has power. Kozin was feeling her shots, especially the body shots. But the problem with Claressa is, she has power and she's beating you up. She still doesn't have quite the timing to knock you out. She doesn't have that. She doesn't have that perfected. And, some people are knockout artists. That's what they do. They know how to hit you with a certain time and stun you and get you out of there. So Carissa's still working on that. She then met Savannah Marshall, and they went at it. And Carissa, was telling her, "You won't do nothing to me, and I'm gonna punish you," and stuff like that. And she will punish Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall's long, rangy. She's got decent pop, but I don't think she's faced opponents. She's stopping opponents, but those opponents are not on the level of the opponents that Carissa's facing. Carissa's facing world champions, top contenders who are undefeated and stuff like that. I don't think Savannah Marshall has faced anybody like that. And so, I think Savannah Marshall is underestimating Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields is going to put a beating on her, okay? And she doesn't realize that, but she will realize it very shortly. Anyways, you can leave your comments in the comment section, or you can hop on here as a guest. I can see if you pop on here as a guest. To join here as a guest, there is the link again. But yes, I think a lot of people are always deceived by the fact that a boxer is not getting KOs like they want to. And that's the most definitive thing that fight fans will want to see is a KO, right? Or at least drop the person, right? But Emma Kozin, I saw her. She was meaty. I know she's strong. And obviously she was well conditioned for this fight because she was taking a beating. From round 1 to round 10, she was taking a beating, nonstop beating. But of course, Carissa was not as accurate as Chris Eubank Jr. was. She also was sort of pushing, like I said, she was trying to push the knockout to happen. And you can't do that. In boxing, you just have to do what you do. And if the knockout come, it come. And that's something Clarissa needs to understand. And don't worry about that. You don't knock her out, don't knock her out. The important thing is you get the W, you raise your hand. And if you're beating her up for 10 rounds, well, so be it. It would have been nice if you could have stopped her, but it's kind of she going home with aches and pains because she made it 10 rounds of a beating. That's not cool, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. Some people who are not one-hitter quitters actually punish other fighters a lot more than if they was just to knock them out and get them out of misery real quick. They can pick up a check and the knockout artist can pick up a check, but it's not always like that. And so for Clarissa, she's got the pop, she's got the power. She just needs to trust the process. That's what I would advise her. I think her trainer probably said this 100 million times to her. What's his name? Jackson. I don't know if she's listening. GT Jackson. Everybody. Listen. The knockouts, if they come, they come. You know what I mean? Some people don't respect fighters who can't knock out other fighters, but I'm gonna tell you something. You will have a high level of respect when you get in the ring with those fighters and you realize they can crack, they can hit hard. It's just that they just don't. There's certain things that happen why they don't get their knockouts. I know guys, who, man, if they hit you, man, you feel like you broke a bone or something inside of you. Everything rattles, right? But they're not knocking you out. And the reason is because of their timing. Sometimes your time is off. And so you feeling it. You want to quit, but you get used to their shots. You get numb to their shots. And then you could take it a little bit and you last. All right. Especially if you're trying to be defensive, you last. So there's a lot of things to setting up a knockout. And then Chris Eubank Jr. showed us all the little tricks to knock a guy down, make him run into a shot, make him overconfident, and then he runs into a shot. You see that he's leading with his head or he's reaching. You're seeing it all the time. You're watching it. You're measuring him. You're measuring him with your stick. And then you say, all right, now's the time to spring the trap. I think he's confident. He's going to rush in real hard. And you just connect. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's what I got so far when it comes to results. As you guys know, I just reported the results. What is my feelings on it? My prediction was that Chris Eubank Jr. would knock out Liam Williams. He didn't knock him out, but he definitely beat him up and knocked him down a number of times. I think he actually performed better than Demetrius Andrade, who performed hell of good, but just, And then also kudos to Claressa Shields for dominant performance over Emma Kozin. Emma Kozin is a good, tough little fighter. She's not little; she's actually a big, grown woman. And shout out to women's boxing. And Emma was tough. You know, she was tough. She hung in there. She was getting beat up, but she hung in there. So hopefully she learns a lesson from this and becomes a much better boxer because of it. That's what I got for you guys when it comes to the results of fights right now. Nobody popped in on the stream, so I'm gonna catch you guys later. What you need out. Peace.